Welcome back to another episode of Saltine Spittoons TV. It's your commish and your co-commish. Say what's up, co-commish.
It's up to the people. Happy post-trade deadline day to you all.
Oh my God, it was something. It was
Crazy.
something else.
It was a crazy day.
So we'll just start it off with some power rankings. This was a tough one. This was more, these rankings themselves have a little bit of a reverse jinx in here. You got A-Raha 69. You got Savage Dev moving down one spot after an atrocious showing against Diego. You got Jay Moley keeping it strong, Little Chubb, your commish himself. And then for the sixth spot, dude, there's so many teams that are so close that it's like it's anyone's ball game to be in the playoffs, which I felt is what made the trade deadline. It wasn't as impactful. Granted, there was some bottom tier teams that I felt made a lot of noise, but it was those in between teams that these next 3 weeks will definitely tell you if someone made the right decision to hodl or not. Anything that you have to say before we move on from here?
I did not have the last edit. I was set up. I was praying. I've averaged 140 the last 3 games, rolling 3 games. But let me read y'all commissions.
I think the last first of all, the most recent 2, you've had 2 back-to-back payouts. I'll let you go.
Commission's last 3 scores. I mean, commission's last 3 scores. We record both of these shows back to back. That'll leave me alone. 170. 130 and almost 140. Like you had the same scores and stuff. I want to recount.
All right, so we'll move on to some noticeable transactions that happened during the trade deadline.
Brought to you
by Tex-Mex Ana. Because other than the Tex-Mex Ana, I think there's like, 2 trades in here that weren't hers? Or 1? No, you got Rookie and...
No, that's the one.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's just the one.
Well, Tex-Mex Ana decided to make some money moves. I'll start it off. I think the first one that came through...
it's a combo.
Order. Okay.
They're not in order. Because this first one it was easier to squeeze all the words if it was the 2 trades in one. So that's why. So
Tex-Mex Ana decided to trade away to acquire Hunter Henry and a 12th, and gave up Tyler Shuck and the 14th and 10th fab. These are 2 separate deals, but I mean it ended up equaling to Ana. Ended up moving up 2 rounds in the next draft, giving up her QB
quarterback she would never play, to be honest.
Correct. So really great deal. And she picked up Hunter Henry. I know by talking to her, I got some live reactions. It was a lot of, I'm gonna trade away these pieces that don't affect me in terms of, having to do the punishment. And I feel like a lot of people that were in a trade with her got that same feeling. Next trade, Tex-Mex Ana acquires a 6th round in the 2026 draft gave up Hampton. Hampton, who is still in IR, who we still don't know the timeline that he's going to be coming back. I still don't think that's been reported yet.
No. And the thing with his injury too, the high ankle sprain, is that players usually see, if I remember the factoid correctly, like a 20% performance reduction even when you come back, and it's a high re-injury risk type of injury. Mm-hmm. So behind. Why does Tony know that? Because I also was in the Hampton sweepstakes, and I was like, I need to do all my homework before I hit accept on this. And it just scared me enough that I couldn't pull the trigger, but I was happy to see Josh do it and try to get into the championship race.
I mean, it was a ballsy move. That's literally like, it's a move cotton, like the insert GIF bold here, right? It's a bold move cotton. And it can reap so much rewards. And A
Yep.
6, yes, is like basically the second round pick, but at the end of the day, it's looking like it's going to be a late 6, so an early 7th. So maybe he didn't give up too much, and Hampton could potentially be a keeper going into the keeper lottery for him. So
Yeah.
really fair trade on both ends. I really liked it for both teams, and it could definitely help them in the future.
Mhm.
Next up, there was some trading with Travis as well. He wanted to get into
He's getting
fire
jealous.
sale
Get that FOMO. Yeah.
sweepstakes. He acquired Theo Johnson for giving up a 10th, and Theo Johnson is a tight end for the Giants who's been getting quite a bit of targets. I think he's also liking that Winston is kind of playing. Theo was getting targeted real nice from Dart, and regardless if it's Dart or Winston, they're going to throw the ball, and Theo has been coming to his own. And he really did a swap of a 10th and a 13th. So Anna moved up another 2 rounds for a different pick as well, and also acquired Muth, who, again, isn't affecting her too much when it comes to this season and not losing and potentially not losing in the shit bowl. Anything to mention here?
Theo actually has been on a better path with Dart than any quarterback this season.
Mm-hmm.
And just from other leagues, I know Travis really likes Dart. So I think he's banking on Dart coming back, having a good finish to the season, and helping buoy Theo as a good tight end option. I thought about sending Travis a trade for a tight end. And then I was like, he's just – we talked about it. Was that us? I think we talked about it before where like, sometimes you get that secret Hitler Among Us curse on you, where if you were the bad guy early, you're not gonna get you're tainted. So I was like, he's not gonna do anything with me, even if it makes sense. So I didn't send him nothing. But happy to see that he still went out and got a tight end, and he's still fighting. I don't love that for my pick that I got from him, but I do like that for him as a man.
He's man's man. And then finally rounding it out, you had and this was I think early on. Still, I think last week or something, Rookie made a great move to acquire Javonte, and he did a 3-round pick swap for the 5th. So that was great. Honestly, I would have probably just done straight up Javonte for a 5th, but it was great that Rookie ended up getting a little bit back there as well in terms of this trade. What did you think about it? Think it was too much, too little?
Too much. I'm lower on Javonte than most people. I think it's funny, right? Because at the beginning of the year, I thought he was too low, and now he's just overrated because he's been finishing top 10. And I just don't think he's been very efficient with those touches. And he has seen that offensive line in front of him dwindle. So I just wonder if the production is going to go, further down south to like RB2 territory instead of RB1. So it's not a deal I would have done. I thought it was a smart move by Mescal to get off of him. But like you said, it was just for a swap. It wasn't an outright pick. So he, Rookie insulated himself a little bit. I wouldn't have been able to pull a trigger on a 5th for Javonte, but I got it. It's so hard to come across running backs who you think can give you an RB1 finish that sometimes you pull the trigger. I tried to get one too, man. I couldn't. Me and Mescal were talking.
I mean, yeah.
But behind the curtain, I mean, I was out there, y'all. I was out there. I was trying to get Jacobs off of Mescal. We talked about Dart, so it'd be like a keeper situation for him. Didn't pan out. I talked Swift with Rookie. I didn't talk with Calero because he went ghost for like the whole week, man. I've been sending him trades all week.
Important week too.
Yeah, man. So
which is interesting because we don't know if he's contending or not. Like he's in a tough situation. Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll get into that on the playoff primer, but I'm with you. I think this should have been a consideration for him.
And then just rounding it out, a couple stats. In total, we had 5 deals done over the course of the 1 week, 4 done by Tex McSana. Tex McSana, basically to summarize what she did, she got picks in the 6th round, 10th round, and 12th. and nothing lower than that. So
Yeah, she's got multiple picks in those rounds.
yeah, so
And-
a lot of these dart throws, it's going to be great if she does her homework next year. Because I mean, you're talking about 12th round, you're
Still
talking
good
about
players. Yeah.
Javonte Williams, you're talking about like those rookies that'll be coming in next year. If she does her research, she will get some good diamonds in the rough there. And then finally, Mescal has multiple picks in rounds 4 through 7 as well. So
Yeah,
hopefully he can't.
that's nasty.
Hopefully, if he does his research like he was supposed to do last year, he will have a nice, nasty roster.
Nah, man, I don't even think it matters. You have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 picks in those 4 rounds. Is nuts.
That's crazy.
And you know what? It makes you wonder again. Like we talked about the Lamar Jackson trade last show. Again, like was it an overpay? We'll see how Lamar finishes the year, but Mescal looks good next year.
Moving on, so we have this playoff primer. Your co-commish ended up creating this, so kind of going to go over the first 2 bullet points, and I'll let you kind of finish it there. For the first 2, no teams have officially clinched. There's a nice little feature that Sleeper has added where basically if you clinch for sure, it's like a nice little green check mark. The one manager that's looking like he could potentially clinch that check mark is going to be Savage Jeff himself. Could have clinched it last week, but decided to take an L, a massive Diego.
He was on bye.
He was on a bye week. But I'll let you finish this off. I mean, it's going to be juicy. 4, 7, and 4 teams. You have you have 4, 7, and 4 teams, 1, 6, and 5, and 2, 5, and 6. And even if you want to continue looking further there, you're talking about 2, 4, and 7 teams. Anyone's ball game, but I'll let you go through the data analytics portion of it.
Yeah. So keep in mind when you're looking at the standings, 8 and 9 is your threshold, right? Once you reach 9 wins, you are out of range from the teams who have 5 wins, right? So we're talking about Travis and Rookie have 5 wins. They're 3 games up on the schedule. They can only get to 8. So if you finish with 8 games and you have the tiebreaker over them, you're in. If you get 9, they don't even have a chance. So keep that in mind as we go along with the exercise. So your commissions, Josh and Chubb can clinch, meaning hit that 9th win with 2 out of 3 remaining wins, or with 1 win but retaining our tiebreaker in points 4 over the 5-win teams who I talked about earlier. And just so you guys know, we have the tiebreaker. All 4 of those teams have the tiebreaker over those 5-win teams right now. So basically,
it's crazy.
Driver's seat, right? Driver's seat for basically the first 5 seeds. Everybody who's at that point is in the driver's seat, controlling your own destiny. That said, you wonder if more teams should have tried to tank, because it's going to be really hard. And I don't know that everybody did this insight before the trade deadline, but it's going to be really hard to get in. Diego controls his own destiny. If he wins out, he'll still be able to reach that 9th win. And even if he only clips 2, he'll have the option to get a tiebreaker. But you know, that's not as favorable for him right now. So ideally, he just needs to try to win out.
Which a couple of those teams that he's facing, week 12, which we'll get into it, but he's facing Mescal, who is already tanking. Yeah. Diego's also facing Tech Mixana, who's also tanking. So
he just has to beat you.
In week 14, he just has to beat.
He's got you in week 13. That's what I'm saying. So he's got, in theory, he's got the 2 who he should beat, and then he's got to beat the big dog to get in. So again, if you're not one of these 6 teams we've talked about yet, maybe you should have thought about tanking. I get everybody wants to win, you know, I understand. And that's kind of why we switched. Well, part of the reason why you switched to keeper is because it gives everybody something to like look forward to, right? Like exactly. If you're going to have a chance to make the playoffs, cool, do that. If you're going to be out of the race, consider, you know, fortifying your future instead of just like, sitting there in the middle with nothing to do. But there's still hope. So for Travis and Rookie, they both need help to get in. Rookie plays. This is tough. Rookie's playing 3 projected playoff teams to finish the season, and he needs to win every one of those games, right? So he needs to win every game. He needs Diego to lose to you at least, and that's tough, right? That's a really hard way in. I think he reacted to the Hampton thing too, like when that happened. So I think he was probably also in discussion for Hampton.
Yeah.
He just didn't pull the trigger. Travis only plays 1 playoff projected team right now, and he holds the tiebreaker over Rookie. So it's really looking bleak for Rookie. Travis has an outside shot, and Diego's in control of his own destiny.
Which is crazy. I love Rookie's team. Like I love those wide receivers, man. He's got the wide receiver 1 in fantasy football right now.
Yeah, when you tell the story, right, it's a mixture of the injuries, looking at Kincaid, looking at Jaden Daniels,
yeah.
And then, truthfully too, just some guys disappointed, right? Tony Pollard hasn't been close to what he was supposed to be. Lad in a good system with a good quarterback. The targets are just going everywhere. Like that's the story behind that. It's a paper team. It's a good it's a good team on paper. Culero,
which you almost wish he would have actually decided, hey, look, dude, like my team, I have these picks that I'm not going to be able to bring in, or these studs that I'm not going to be able to bring in. Like
we can stay there, right? Like, because
look,
because we've got Javonte, who he traded for. You feel like he's probably going to make him a keeper. You've got JSN, you've got CeeDee Lamb, and you've got Lad McConkey, right? So that's 4 keepers, and that leaves you a surplus of DeAndre Swift, who he could have traded.
Running back market is scarce, man. It's tough to find good running backs.
So then let's flip it, right? Then he keeps who? CeeDee, and then or JSN, and has to put the other one.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you could have traded. He could have traded Swift. I was in the DMs. To me, it would have made sense, but I get it. So that's an example of somebody, and maybe we'll have that conversation with everybody as we go, right? Looking on to Calero and Rick are not mathematically eliminated, but they need absolute chaos to get in, right? Because they have 4 wins, meaning the max they can get to is 7. So they need Diego to completely either lose out or to outkick him in points for, which could happen. But again, we talked about this already. Diego's playing George and Anna. You figure he's gonna win one of those games. He wins. He wins one. They have to win out. And actually, you know what? I didn't even look at, and I'm gonna peek at this real quick. Is do Culero and Rick play each other? Because then they would keep each other from the playoffs. And in week 14, they go head to head against each other.
No way.
So even if they're they win their 2 games in 12 and 13, then one of them's gonna knock the other one out of any contention at that point too. So it's just they need absolute chaos to get in. They have high points for. So if it goes worst case scenario for Diego, they could steal the spot. But again, it's not just Diego they need to lose. They need Travis to lose. They need Rookie to lose. And you wonder, maybe those would have been teams who, if they would have set some guys out transparently. Now that it doesn't matter anymore. Transparently, I was trying to buy Barkley and Stafford. Kamish has mentioned he was in the DMs about Stafford.
Yeah.
We couldn't get anything going. And Culero
he's
has
got three QBs that are what, top 10 or top 15. Like
I think
a lot of teams are struggling with QBs right now. Like
somebody would have bought those guys.
Yeah.
He's got Jamar Chase, who you figure is going to be the outright keeper. Let's see if we can piece this together, right? Probably he'll do
Chase, Barkley,
Saquon, Taylor, and
with Jonathan Taylor, dude.
Maybe
Man,
Mayfield. Maybe that's what he's thinking. He'll probably go those
yeah.
4 guys as the keepers and
He's
just
got an excess at the QB position. That Matthew Stafford, I think,
that
if
would have
he
been
would
a
have
good
done
trade
that,
away.
yeah, he's top 10 QB right now. I don't know what his future looks like. That's definitely like you're not looking further into the future. You're just getting that value.
Yeah, I mean, and to consider this, right? Consider, doing something like trading Barkley, but then keeping Mayfield or keeping I'm sorry, keeping Chase and then putting Mayfield, Caleb, and Taylor in as keepers, and what you could have got for Barkley in your draft stash. Just things to maybe think about next year. Obviously, there's nothing to do about it now, but
I mean, I hope our viewers don't take that we're shitting on you, but understand that the trade deadline was this last week, right? One, I'm hoping to send out like a survey, basically anything that you would modify, edit. Trade deadline modification is always something that's going to be coming up. Like if we feel like we need to push this trade line down, I understand that everybody's potentially busy. 11 is really early, especially with where things are at. Anyone could, in theory, still make the playoffs, other than potentially Mescala and Tex Mexana. But like week 14, is that the right deadline? Please watch, like, to really understand that your vote matters with this, and how maybe it could make a difference for the next year. And Bolero, right? Like the trade deadline is week 11. Have your DMs like be on it, dude. Like, because it really is gonna matter for the 2026 year, right? Because you're gonna get a decent pick, and you could have potentially aligned yourself for a nice 2027 run, especially if you're taking into account that JT is gonna do well. Is going to have Joe Burrow back, a nice, healthy Joe Burrow. Like your team just could have been right there, like.
Yep. Brick, tried to get Purdy, couldn't get Purdy, but at least Rick denied me. I think at least I had closure on that.
With Rick, it was one of those. His team just took off a little bit too late.
Yeah,
honestly,
a lot of bit too late. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're. I mean, looking at his team, what do we got? We got Mahomes is probably one of them. I guess you go quarterbacks and try to keep them, Mahomes and Purdy.
Yeah.
But then who's your keeper? Like who's your one?
Yeah,
is it Genty?
His team. I mean, it would kind of have to be Genty. I think I know Rick does subscribe to the RBs are the truth mindset, since I mean he picked up Genty over Hurt, I think, during the draft. So I think you keep your franchise Genty and hope that you get one of Mahomes or Purdy back with maybe Devonta Smith in there.
Schmitty. Yeah. Exactly what I was thinking. You get Schmitty, but then maybe that would have been a great opportunity. And obviously, like Kamish is saying, you're not trying to shit on people specifically so much as like the market, what the market ended up being relative to like what it could have been, right? Because this would have been a good team if Devontae Adams goes on the market. You can get something for him this year because he's been balling out this year, and he's not going to be a keeper. Kelsey probably not going to be a keeper. Pittman's probably not. Like those are some guys who could have fetched some real value from a playoff push team.
Yeah.
But it just they didn't hit the market. So what are you going to do?
And then adding to that, I know these settings seem a bit more complicated, right? And that's what I'm trying to avoid. Like I'm trying to balance out like the level of things that you can do. But this is what I felt like makes this fantasy season or these last 2 fantasy seasons since switching to keeper and opening up drafts is that or draft pick trading. It widens what you can do and what you could play for.
Your paths to success.
Yeah.
It's not just immediately build the best win now team for this 1 year only. You've got
Mhm.
you can. Mescal really did a great job, and Anna as well. But
Yeah, like they're adapting, and I'm
yeah,
loving that about that.
yeah,
I appreciate them for that. Like they're understanding that there's more paths to a chip than just I'm drafting. It didn't go well.
stand pat.
Maybe no trading, and then that's it. Like I'm just gonna donate my $100 buy-in. I want to give more to the people to give them a chance, whether it be this year or the next year. Like
Yep.
that's where my head is at with this.
And then
And
just go
yeah,
ahead.
so just I was gonna round it out as well.
No, cool. Yeah, we've been on the primer. Yeah, four teams are returning from last year's playoff field. Josh and Jose are the newcomers. Playoff brackets will reseed after each round, so highest against lowest. And on this corner, you just see a look at what the playoffs would look like today if they started, and it's going to be a bloodbath in there.
It'll be crazy. It'll be interesting to see who gets those buys because it's open season there.
Yeah, you're going to really wish you had it if you don't.
We'll make this quick, short, sweet, and to the point. I'll let you start off with one, just because I don't really want to talk to myself about it. But I will mention, I will mention there may or may not have been some influence of counter
Shenanigans. I'm not letting you edit the slides last, bro.
Like might as well just send out GGs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Send the GG in the chat.
Your Kokemish did not have final editing powers on this.
yeah, we have some shenanigans here, but Henry's going to be the thing that pushes Tex-Mex over the edge this week once he hits the lineup. So that's how we came to the team decision that Tex-Mex Ana was going to beat Kamish this week. So it's going to be a strong performance from Henry. Not non-jokingly though, like there are some good, like Rico against San Francisco, who has been a terrible defense with all the injuries, could be a big boon for her. And Kokemish has to go with Pickens against Cooper DeJean and on all them bad boys on the Eagles. So there's some tough matchups on the Kamish side, some really exploitable ones on the Tex-Mex side. So let's go for the upset alert here, and we'll go Tex-Mex pulls it out.
Yeah, hope not. But moving on to Cordero J. Molly, that's going to be a good one. I think Cordero's going to get JT back. I don't think that's something that I took into account. I just saw all the buys. I forgot he had JT on the bench. So he could go for 40. Matthew Stafford could go for another 30 there, just base of 70. But it sucks that Jamar Chase literally is being suspended the 1 week that Cordero really needs him.
That's what hurts.
And I think that's why we're leaning with Jay Molly here. Jay Molly does have a good roster and a couple good matchups there. He has Kyle Pitts, which will be interesting to see how that goes moving forward. Something to keep an eye on, especially with Kirk Cousins now being the starting quarterback of the Falcons again. And maybe Kyle Pitts actually ends up being the number one target for him, especially since Drake London might be out. So that's that there. Next up, it's going to be, I'll let you speak to this because I'll speak for 4.
Trump Rick is not going to make it easy on Travis to get into the playoffs. I'll say that because this week he's got some great matchups. Like Tennessee's a really exploitable run game, so you figure Charbonnet is one of those guys who's like a supplementary guy for your roster, but this week he could be a real winner for you with that kind of a matchup. And then he might have Kenny Gainwell without Jalen Warren. That could be another big swing one right there. And on top of the already settled pieces he has on his roster versus on the Travis side, you're just wondering against Buffalo. Buffalo's defense has been reeling. So could the Texans quarterback actually boom? It's something we'll keep an eye on.
Mills has been going off these last 2 weeks. Yeah. I think that's why they're giving Stroud just like that extra rest time.
Yeah, I think that's what a good quarterback performance from Mills would be. What brings him back and wins it for him. But just missing Harvey and missing London, in theory, it's hard. And right now we have to expect that London's out. So
it's a lot of losses in a critical time as well for Travis right now too. All right, next up, you're talking about the matchup between Little Chubb and your Kokomich. Maybe a little bit of reverse strings here. No, but seriously, with this matchup, really, I think it came down to, is Bucky coming back? Is Loveland gonna do well? Is Dart coming back? Like, because right now it's really, you're struggling on those flex options at the moment. And then Little Chubb, dude, he just has Josh Allen. I will say Josh Allen might not do as well, but I can see it either way. Josh Allen might not be able to throw much touchdowns because you're talking about the Texans having the #1 fantasy and I think real life defense. Yeah. So I could see them stopping Allen, but if I think the Texans have a really good run D, which only goes back to Josh Allen's going to have to do a lot with his legs. So all that to say, I could see either side of Josh Allen just going off or doing are really having to underperform just because that defense is so good. But a lot of good matches for Little Chubb. You're talking about Kyren Williams against Tampa. I think they're going to have to run the ball quite a bit. Tampa Bay's defense isn't as good as it used to be. The only matchup that I think swings your way is that Jake Ferguson matchup there against the Eagles. I think they're a really tough defense right now. They're peaking at the right time, and maybe that also affects Jalen Hurts as well. But he also has Jalen Hurts, who could go off against Dallas Cowboys and just belt to ass whoop them this week as well. So that's why I'm leaning Little Chubb. Do you want to add anything here as well?
Nah, man, I'm scared. that's all I gotta say about that.
Shook could be the pickup of the rest of the season. Is he good? Is he bad? We really don't know yet. I mean, for him to get
it's a flyer,
18 points against Carolina, and Carolina defense is, I would say, better than Atlanta's. Yeah. Like you could see a great pickup there. And if Dart's back, that'll be interesting to see. That's literally interesting right now because you got no Brian Dable. People are asking Dart to
stop running.
Stay healthy. He's gonna run. Like he has to. That's
it doesn't matter now, again, because the trade deadline's passed. Transparently, right. I was trying to move Dart, and I couldn't get it done because I was scared that he was not going to run anymore. And my pre-draft evaluation was not that I didn't think highly of him in the first place. Let alone if he's not running too. So I don't know. I'm worried about that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. And then finally, Mescal and Diego. I'll briefly touch on this. The potential upset alert here. It'll be interesting to see. I have Mescal I guess we have Mescal winning this just because is BTJ actually going to be back this week? He has Chris Godwin in, Marvin Harrison Jr. Is he coming back? It's just a lot of uncertainty with Diego's roster, and we kind of have an idea as to what Mescal's roster is. Bryce Young has been going off, and I'm sure he's going to play him over Dylan Gabriel. I don't think he's going to keep it like that. Or maybe he will. Maybe he'll bench Geno because Geno's been ass. Bowers has had a resurgence. Njoku might end up getting extra touches here and there. I think they're fairly even. Jacobs might be out this week, which might let it swing back Diego's way. So it's a toss-up here. I just think right now Diego's rolling with the best thing that he can, and hopefully maybe he does one great waiver wire move that would swing things back his way.
Quickly, we did miss the Savage and Rookie matchup. So
who?
Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, we're and that
I'm
was on
joking.
purpose,
That's fine.
and that's been the end of the show.
No, my
But
bad. I'll let you speak to that one just
yeah,
because
no,
it is playoff related.
it is. I think. Well, we think Savage is going to clinch this week. Clinch, not clinch. He'll be stress free. And what we're concerned with on the rookie side is just that again he's down his two quarterbacks. So right now he's got Tony Pollard in at Superflex, who's already been really disappointing and is going against one of the best defenses in the league in Seattle, who, besides one like pretty good breakaway for Kyron, besides that one play, the run game was stymied. And that's because they were even running, three tight end, four personnel at some points. Like they were trying to get the run game going. This is a really good defense. So I'm really worried about Pollard. He might not have, the whole bench is gone. He might not have anyone to put in besides Pollard.
You really can't put anyone else in. Yeah.
So I'm concerned. He's putting in Pollard. He's putting Algier, who's been like the most inefficient running back per touch in the league. Sure, he might get a touchdown, but if he doesn't, he ain't getting shit else. So you're scared about that lineup going against Dav getting Warren back. He'll be without his Chargers, but he'll be able to play in theory Manungai. And then if Bucky misses again, Tucker might present a good matchup. And at least that he'll get touches, but it's going to be another hard matchup because same thing, the Rams are probably behind Houston, the other best defense in the league. So I just think I'm so much more worried about what Rookie's doing in his flexes.
Rookie's floor could end up being another showing of what he did last week, which is
it could be the basement.
Yeah.
Whereas like Dav's like from like Penthouse, but maybe he could be like, middle class at the worst. So that's it.
Yeah, but that's pretty much sums it up. Hope y'all. We didn't have enough time for the Backseat Boy segment. Really, the Backseat Boy segment was to potentially emphasize these trades, which we've been doing like 3 shows a week. So maybe we could do something again this week or this next time that we record, and see what you guys would like to see, roster construction, maybe potential. If you guys enjoyed watching us kind of go over these trades or like what could have been conversations, then we could probably bring this. But I think we might be done with the Backseat Boys segment, at least for this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Got any last final words? I hope y'all enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Just like, subscribe. Hope you guys like the show. If you have anything you want us to do an analysis on or look into for you, by all means, suggest it in the comments. But that's it.
Sweet. Peace.
Peace.